The Octave Fuzz was once the sound of rebellion, but in today's world of modelers, boutique drives, and hyper-polished tones, is there still room for the raw, unpolished magic of this effect? In the late 60s, the Octave Fuzz was a brand new invention, and in the hands of Jimi Hendrix, it felt almost mystical. It was this strange, otherworldly tone that made guitarists stop and think.
How the hell is he doing that?
Later on, many players carried that torch and cemented the Octave Fuzz as a symbol of psychedelic rock.
But here's the thing, if it's so iconic, why did it not remain a mainstay on our pedal boards like the Tube Screamer or the Klon? The Octave Fuzz is not a polite pedal. It can be noisy, it's bright, and it can be really harsh.
In other words, the Octave Fuzz isn't a plug and play. You have to shape your riffs to the pedal. Most players try to force riffs into this pedal, thinking it's going to be like an overdrive, and that's usually where it doesn't work out and they give up. Now, this pedal is not a Foxx Tone Machine clone, and it's not an Octavia. It's actually not based on a particular classic. Jim Hagerman designed this from scratch, and his approach fixes many problems that plague the traditional Octave Fuzz circuit.
Most of these vintage circuits, they rely on transformers or diode-based rectification. The TSAR doesn't use either. Instead, it uses something that Jim calls a limited slip differential on the front end. This prevents the octave stage from getting overloaded by a big signal.
Then the fuzz stages uses 2 germanium transistors in a differential clipping configuration. These never go into harsh saturation, and thanks to the built-in thermal compensation, the pedal won't get farty or unstable under stage lights or even direct sunlight.
This is why the TSAR feels tighter, more stable, and more predictable than a vintage circuit, and it doesn't lose the character. So here's the strange thing about Octave Fuzz. There's not a whole lot of songs that feature this effect, but the songs that do feature this effect, they're typically iconic. We all know it's a short list of songs, but these songs are all popular in their own way. They're all iconic in their own way. So when we think about it, the Octave Fuzz, if you have a really great song and you really want to have a standout guitar part and you play to the pedal, that solo or that guitar part becomes just as memorable as the sound of the Octave Fuzz. Is this effect still relevant? It always falls into obscurity and then pops up again when someone discovers, hey, I need something that stands out in this song, so I'm probably going to take an Octave Fuzz and come up with a really cool sounding riff. And the sound of the pedal itself is so unique that people are going to it's going to be memorable. People are going to remember this sound. Is it practical for you playing in a bar, in a cover band, you're playing top 40 stuff? There's not that many songs that require it. However, when a song does require it, you better have the right pedal because it's not going to sound right otherwise. If you are in the studio and you're trying different riffs and nothing seems to work, try the Octave Fuzz. Maybe something will pop out. However, if you want it to work, as I've mentioned before, you have to play to the pedal. If you're forcing your sweet blues riffs that sound great on the Tube Screamer into this pedal, it's not going to work. So you have to be open to letting the pedal guide your riffs, and if you do that, there's no reason for it not to work. It's not a utilitarian pedal by any means. It's not something that is doing something to the sound, like corrective EQ, boosting mids, cutting low end, cutting some of the high end. It isn't doing that. It's unruly, it's wild, and if you are willing to strap on, there's some really cool riffs. So yes, I do think that it's still relevant today. We just should stop losing the knowledge, archive it somewhere, so that way every time it pops back in, we can go to that resource and remember, oh, okay, these are like the try these first before you sell your pedal kind of tips. That's my opinion on it. I would love to hear your opinion on if these type of pedals, the Octave Fuzz, the Octave Fuzzy, like weird kind of things that are out there. People are making all sorts of pedals. Are they still relevant? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Let me know in the comments. And in the meantime, there's a video appearing on screen right now. Click on that video, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Cheers.